right, okay, let's take this a step further, and pulled her out of the bar. She kind of sold me on the I am different, like everybody else gets sold on. And then she threatened to kill herself on several occasions when I wanted to leave. She would lock herself in the car, get a mobile phone charging cable, wrap it around her neck, and pull it as tightly as possible. That caused a lot of drama because I'm trying to break the car window to get into the car because I'm worried that the police are going to think it's me that's killed her.
How you doing, folks? Pete here from Thairish Times. What's the story? I hope you're keeping well wherever you are. So today we're going to meet Dan, who's from the UK, but he spent the last 6 years in Thailand. And a lot of you will know Dan from his YouTube channel, Thai Talk with Dan. And well, you've seen the title, so you know exactly what the content is going to be about. So what I've done with this interview, folks, is I've split it into 2 parts. So this is part 1. Part 2 will be released 24 hours from now, and if you're watching this into the future, then part 2 will already be released, and you'll find it in the comment section below. It will be a pinned comment down below. So without further ado, let's go meet Dan, and I've left a link to his YouTube channel as well. So let's get straight into it. Dan, thanks very much for coming on here. I've been following your channel actually well over a year now, and I was still in Thailand when I started watching your channel. But I want to get back to the very kind of start of it. Tell us about the process. Like, how did you end up moving to Thailand?
Bit different for me. I come to Thailand when I was about 21 on a lad's holiday for a couple of weeks. I didn't particularly enjoy it. My friends were all a bit crazy and just doing what guys do, single guys do. So after that, I never thought about coming back to Thailand again. And I had my own business. I was doing quite well, but it was sales and marketing, and I didn't really enjoy it. So I was going through like an early midlife crisis, so to speak. And my friend said he's going to Thailand for 2 months over Christmas, and would I like to join him? I said to him, well, if you're just going to Thailand to stay in Thailand for 2 months, I don't think that's really for me, mate. I need time to think and reflect and decide what I'm going to do with my life. I was in a relationship that I wasn't happy with. We'd been together for 7 years. I wanted to leave my business, but the money was too good. So there was a lot for me to think about. So he said that he was going to travel all over Southeast Asia. He's going to go Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Philippines. And he's going to like visit the countryside and stuff. So I thought, yeah, that might be quite entertaining and enjoyable. I might learn something. And if I'm going to be in the mountains or the countryside, I've got a lot of time to reflect and decide what I'm going to do with my life for when I get back, because I knew radical changes needed to happen. And that was the reason why I come to Thailand for 2 months.
So then what did you do? You went back to the UK and said, that's it, I'm going to sell everything and move over to Thailand then?
Yeah, went back home, finished my 7-year relationship within 24 hours. I basically fired all my staff, got rid of all my staff because I had a call center. I had my sister working for me as well. She was the only one who kept a job. So I allowed her to carry on working for me, so she still had a job and still could make money. And I left my limited company open. And then within 7 days, I managed to obtain a 6-month visa, and then came back to Thailand. And then after 6 months, I bought a 5-year Thailand elite visa to stay in Thailand.
That was very fast, like to fly back to the UK and then just sell everything, sack everybody. Why did it happen so fast? Why did it have to be 7 days? Like, some people would probably have taken that in a couple of months, say, all right, this time next year, I'll be back in Thailand. And you did it in 7 days.
I was in a relationship that I wasn't happy with. I was working, like, literally my whole life was work, and I wasn't happy with my work. I wasn't happy with what I was doing as a business. I was just getting no fulfillment out of the relationship that I was in and the work that I was doing. So I knew that a radical change needed to happen. And when I came to Thailand for that 2 months, I realized how at peace I felt here in Thailand. I stayed most of the time just around Thai people. I tried to get out of the tourist places. And I just felt more relaxing. I felt more peaceful. I felt more myself. I wasn't in the hustle and bustle of my daily work life. And I managed to have enough time to be away from the relationship that I was in to fully understand that, yeah, I wasn't in love with my ex-partner. We was more like best friends, and it wasn't fair for me and it wasn't fair for her to continue that relationship. So yeah, I told her pretty quickly when I got her home. And I wasn't meaning to come and live in Thailand forever. I just wanted, come at me again, I have to deal with it like this, Pete. I just wanted 6 months, right, in Thailand to really decide what I want to do with my life. I needed 6 months. I needed 6 months just to, I don't know, just whether my mindset was, should I stay in Thailand like for the next 5 years or forever, or should I go back home in 6 months and radically change my life some way back in England? I just wasn't sure, but I needed that time away. That 2 months just didn't cut it for me. It wasn't enough time. I didn't want to go back to my business, and I didn't want to go back to my relationship. So yeah, I just thought, right, get a 6 month visa and go and take that time out. I was lucky enough to have saved money from the money that I made within my business. My business was like a monthly subscription business, so I had a lot of subscribers, a lot of customers that was paying me a monthly subscription. So I had enough money to be okay, at least for 6 months, no problem. So that's why I decided, go on, I'll take that 6 months out and then decide what I'm going to do. And that's when I did decide at the end of that 6 months to buy a 5-year visa, which was a big one because it was expensive. 500,000 baht for a 5-year visa to stay in Thailand, which was a bit crazy, but that was what I decided to do at the end of that 6 months.
How did your ex-girlfriend take the news after you said you were going to break up with her?
Wasn't that great, to be honest. I basically said it's not to do with another woman or anything like that. It's not my style. I'm not going to go to Thailand and fall in love, and that's the reason why I want to leave. I just need to change my life. For a while, I think you've known that I've not been that happy. Our relationship is more like a friendship-based relationship. I love you like a brother or a sister or a friend, but not romantically. But I said that in better terms because I didn't want to like break her heart or upset her. It took her a day or so, but I think she accepted it. There was no like throwing things at me or anything crazy that went on. She just took it on the chin because she knew I wasn't happy before I left. That was the whole reason. I'm not a traveling guy. I'm not somebody who will just get up and disappear for 2 months to a foreign country. That's not my style at all. But I needed to get away because I felt like I was at a breaking point where something radical was going to happen. And I've always said to everybody, even now, if I would have gone to Spain or America or a different country for that 2 months, more than likely I would have moved there because I'm not a guy that travels about. I just got out of England and felt at peace, felt like I'm away from all the egos that go on back home. Yeah, everybody's acting. Nobody seems, how do you say it without...
I know what you're saying, that yeah, like there's a lot of I suppose competition, and competition breeds ego.
They're just not themselves. Everybody's like an actor out of a story or a movie. Everybody's trying to portray some idea of who they want to be in their mind to other people for them to perceive that actor or actress. And it annoys me because nobody's ever real anymore. So that's always annoyed me for many years. So it was nice to be out of the way from all that fakeness. And I found over here in Thailand, everybody's very genuine over here to, if you get out of the tourist areas and stuff, people just come across very genuine, very down to earth and not complicated individuals. So I felt a lot more at ease and I felt like I could be more myself as well. So I think that was the main reason why I fell in love with this country. I could be me more.
I was watching some of your videos there yesterday, and I saw that you said that you've had 3 relationships while you were in Thailand. The first one was a Bargirl that you met in on Koh Chang. Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, that was a bit mental, and that was my own stupidity for listening to foreigners here, expats that had been here a long time. Now, I'm not a traveling guy. I'd only ever been to Thailand once before for a couple of weeks, so I didn't really know anything about Thailand whatsoever. And I was with my friend on Koh Chang, and he's partying, enjoying himself, getting himself a new girl every night and doing what single guys seem to do over here. Yeah, enjoying himself. And for me, I just wasn't enjoying it. I'm thinking, I'm supposed to be traveling. We're supposed to be going Vietnam, Cambodia, Philippines. We're supposed to be doing a bit of backpacking or something. So it wasn't really my scene. I got bored very, very quickly. So I'm sat in the bar and some expats noticed. They said, your friend's having a great time. He's dancing around, swinging off the poles, enjoying himself, doing what crazy guys do. and they could see that I wasn't enjoying myself. And I said, listen, I'm not really into like paying for this kind of stuff. I'm not really into taking a woman home. It's just not my style. You know, I didn't come here for that. And they're basically saying, listen, son, you're not going to enjoy yourself if you think like that. Everything in Thailand, yeah, everything back home is like this. In Thailand, it's like this. It's the opposite, yeah. And everything that you do in Thailand just remains in Thailand. So you need to turn your brain off and just go with the flow and just kind of like enjoy yourself. This is the norm. This is reality here. This is how things go. So I'm kind of listening to it. It wasn't just one guy. It was like 3 or 4 different guys that were saying this. And I'm listening to them and I'm thinking, well, yeah, I'm not enjoying myself. And if that's the way it is, can I put myself into that mindset to be like that? Then I thought, no, it's not me. So I got speaking to this woman in the bar and I was watching her, and every day I was speaking to her and going into this same bar because that's where my friend wanted to go to. He enjoyed this one particular bar on Koh Chang. And I think it was over a week or maybe 2 weeks. We were going to this bar and I kept chatting to this girl. I noticed that she didn't go with a single customer every time I was there, at least, and she was just getting money for drinks. So yeah, I decided, right, okay, let's take this a step further, and pulled her out of the bar and just said, listen, it'll be on a friendship basis. You can take me around. We can go see the elephants, do little things, you know, go to the beach. And it just kind of stemmed from there and progressed from there. I mean, I didn't touch her for like at least a week after because I just felt uncomfortable with it. It was a new concept to me. I'm not a guy that goes to like strip bars back in his own country or does anything like that whatsoever. So this was all brand new. So I just took my time. I got to know her. She kind of sold me on the I am different, like everybody else gets sold on. Where she's not the same as other women, you know, she understands things more. She wants this out of life, that out of life. So yeah, I bought in that she was different. I said to her, listen, I'm not going to be a guy that's going to pay for you. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to make your own money. I'm not going to be a sponsor, etc. Even back then, before I'd even learned anything, I already knew to say that kind of stuff to her. So I said, like, listen, if you want to like be with me and you want to try with me, we could try. But I'm just here on a holiday, yeah. And I got with her, and I didn't really take it that seriously. I just thought it'll pass the time. I can enjoy myself, and I've got my own little tour guide, I suppose, to go around Thailand with. And it kind of stemmed from there. And before the holiday finished, I kind of got rid of her and basically said, you know, it's going to be nothing more than just friends. But then when I went back home and ended everything, and I come back, I stayed on my own for, I don't know, a week or two. And then I decided to get back in touch with this woman, basically for me more as a tour guide. And then things went a bit eerie from there with that woman. She was a bit strange, a bit bipolar, a bit narcissistic, and obviously wanted what most Thai women want. They want a house, they want a car, they want this, they want that, you know, they want something to make them feel safe within that relationship and know that if it does end, then they've got some money to fall back on.
I saw in your video you said you ended up renting a house and you ended up financing a car for her.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to put a car in my name and have like any kind of debt in my name. I didn't know how things worked back then with what a foreigner can and can't do in Thailand. So yeah, I paid a deposit for a house and I put for a car, and I put the monthly payments into her auntie's name. Yeah, because I didn't feel like I was going to end up paying these whole payments after. And that was after basically when I got my 5-year visa as well. That's when I got my 5-year visa. I decided to do that because I was trying to set up some kind of life in Thailand. And I was renting a house for 35,000 baht in Bang Saray, near Pattaya. Had a swimming pool, electric gate, everything, quite nice. And yeah, rented a house there, had the car that got on finance in her auntie's name, and had a few different motorbikes as well there at the house.
How did he end up going south then? What happened?
I tried to leave her several times due to her depression, her bipolar, the arguments that went on. And I just thought, I'm not into this. I've not traveled halfway around the world to have like drama with a Thai woman. And then she threatened to kill herself on several occasions when I wanted to leave. She would lock herself in the car, get a mobile phone, a charging cable, wrap it around her neck and pull it as tightly as possible. So that caused a lot of drama because I'm trying to break the car window to get into the car because I'm worried that the police are going to think it's me that's killed her. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm in a foreign country. I've got a woman trying to kill herself. I don't know if she's going to go through with it or not. She seems quite unhinged to do something like this. And she did it a few different times where she'd grab hold of the hose pipe that was attached to the wall and try to hang herself with a hose pipe on the outside of the house. And I didn't know back then what was going on. I didn't know how common this kind of stuff was with certain particular Thai women over here in Thailand. When you try to leave them, they will do whatever it takes in order to keep you and make sure that you don't leave, whatever it takes. So if they can cause some drama and pretend that they're going to kill themselves in order for you to calm down and stay with them, because you're worried, you could get in trouble with the police. You're worried that you could feel guilty that she's killed herself over you. These are the kind of things that they'll use to make you stay. But it got too much. So in the end, I had to go. I had to leave. And that was when I was living in Khon Kaen. We moved from there and I went to Khon Kaen and we had drama there. And it was the final straw for me. I had to leave.
When you say drama, what kind of arguments were you having?
I can't even remember. It was just tedious stuff, Pete. Nothing big, nothing in regard.
You need to make the bed. You need to sweep the floor. No, it's not my turn. It's your turn type of thing. Simple stuff.
Just simple stuff. I mean, it's that simple. I can't even remember. I can't even remember the basis of one particular argument. She was one of those type of people where I'd go into the bathroom, for example. She'd be having a bath and I'd see that she's upset. And she's got tears running down her eyes. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, nothing. And she's just upset. And then she'll say I miss my mother or something weird would come out of her mouth. Something, I say weird because one day it'd be a mother. The next minute I just feel low today or whatever. So I knew she had some kind of issues. I don't know. I feel like she was depressed, or maybe from working in a bar, it had some kind of something mentally that did something to her, or something that might have gone on from a kid. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, and I didn't really know that much about her past life properly. But she just had issues and decided to flare up and make arguments. And I hate drama. You can't really get away from it. It's difficult because they won't stop. I've noticed that in Thailand with friends that I've got that are females, guys that I speak to. I mean, they can be quite feisty, and it's hard to calm them down. And even Thai guys tell me when a Thai woman starts, you just need to be quiet, walk away, or just be quiet and go and sit somewhere else and just don't say anything. Don't argue back with them. Otherwise, you'll just fuel that fire and just make them worse. It's difficult for me to deal with that concept because for me, if I'm right, yeah? And I'll explain to you how I'm right in order for you to calm down and understand that I'm in the right. However, if I'm wrong, I'm the first person to put my hand up and say, listen, that was my fault. I shouldn't have moaned. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have argued with you. I'm bad. I'm wrong. Fair enough. I'll bow my head. But I've always noticed with Thai women, they just won't do that. Not at all. They will not bow their head. Even if they're in the wrong, they'll still carry on. Maybe 1 day later or 2 days later, they might say, yeah, I was in the wrong that day. But they've already done all the carnage. It takes time. So, yeah, they can be quite feisty. And when we moved to Khon Kaen, I think from Bang Sue, I can't remember. We moved to Khon Kaen. And within a month of being in that house, that's when I actually left and just got a big backpack, jumped on my Kawasaki Ninja 650 that I had at the time and just drove off, got out of there.
Well, let's move on to when you met your wife, all right? So you met your wife online and you had a very interesting strategy to make sure that you found a woman that wasn't going to take you for your money.
Before I met my wife, I decided that I was going to go back to England. The well had dried up within my business, 2.5 years maybe of me actually living in Thailand. I was based in Buriram and money was running low. I was like doing a bit of freelancing work, just doing marketing on my own. I don't think my sister was working for me back then. She wanted something obviously more stable, and with me being in Thailand, it wasn't totally stable for her. So I think she got a new job back then. So I decided that I was going to go home, but I'd set my own online dating profile up. And I decided just to be very open and honest and state in my profile that I'm not looking to be anybody's monthly sponsor. I'm definitely not going to buy you a house or a car or land. Yeah. If we go for a meal, we'll go to the noodle shop. And basically just said everything I could to put every single woman off. Yeah. To a degree, to go, well, I don't really want to get with this guy because I'm not going to get anything out of him. And that's when, yeah, my wife popped her head up and basically said that she found my profile interesting, very different to what foreigners normally state, and that she'd like to meet me. And at the time, I didn't really want to meet her. I was quite tired that particular day, but she kept pushing and pushing to go and meet at Starbucks coffee shop and just go and have a coffee. You know, it doesn't matter. We'll just sit, have a talk. If we don't like each other or whatever, we just walk away. No big drama. And yeah, that was how I met her.
And then the relationship just blossomed then, and you decided you'd stay in Thailand.
Yeah, it blossomed. I told her straight that I've got no money. Yeah, I need to go back home. I need to go back and work really back home. So if we do get involved in a relationship, it's not really going to be good. It's going to end up being a long distance thing, or maybe I need to go back home and set my business back up and then come back here to Thailand. And she basically just said, we'll make it work. You don't need to have loads of money. Yeah. She goes, I work. You can work for yourself. You can do your marketing and stuff for yourself, and we just get by. And it's fine. And then we had a bit more of a conversation, and then she said, you can come and live here in my house, rent free. Come and live here, and it'll make the struggle a lot less, make it easier for us.
You mentioned in a couple of your videos that the relationship with your wife, it can be rocky. I think at one stage, I think 7 months ago, you moved out to an apartment. And I was watching your videos going, more than rocky, yeah. Because I remember watching that video going, Dan's moved out. What's going on? And you were sitting in this apartment, and you're not in your little bamboo hut back then, you know. So what was the story there? Why did you end up moving out? And can you tell us, like, when you say rocky, like, what's the story behind that?
Again, same kind of drama over something tedious, something small, like leaving a coffee cup on a table. Yeah, using too many teaspoons. Yeah, something so trivial and so simple, Pete, would like flare up an argument. And the problem is with me, right, is that I learned these women quite quickly. I learned Thai mentality quite quickly, quite early on, but I can't take on my own advice from what I've learned. And for me, like I said earlier, if I'm in the right, I will fight my corner. Yeah. If you're being tedious or you're having a go at me when you shouldn't be having a go at me, I'm going to fight my corner. And that's when things come to blows. And my wife is a very emotional character, and she's 100% with her emotion. So if she's angry, she's 100%. If she loves, she's 100%. If she's sad, she's 100%. There is no middle ground. And she definitely doesn't have a balance between a head and a heart. But I always say, like any decision or anything that you do in life, you need to have some kind of balance before you make that decision. Don't just go off your heart and don't just go off your head. Otherwise, you will always make the wrong choice in life. But with her, it's all or nothing, like totally. And I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't be the person that just sat there and just allowed somebody to go on and shout at me when I've done literally nothing wrong. And the drama just used to escalate to things getting thrown, punches getting thrown, anything in order for her to win the argument, because she is an emotional character. And that's where our difficulties have always lied with my wife. I mean, if I didn't have a son with her, I think she knows I would have been off a long time ago. But because I do have a son with her, I try to understand and learn her. I know she has a problem. I know that she can't control her emotions, and I know that our characters can conflict, because I just won't back down to anything. But I'm having to learn now, which is against my own nature, but I'm having to learn with her because I've got a kid with her. I can't stick by my own principles and my own morality. I can't do that. I've got to find some kind of balance. So when she does flare up, I'm just doing what Thai guys have been telling me to do for years. Just stay quiet. Yeah. And then what I noticed that if I do stay quiet, she'll start boiling, but that she'll start to simmer down. She will start to chill out because she feels like she's won, like, yeah, you are in the wrong or whatever. Sometimes it's best to put your hand up and say, yeah, I'm the bad guy. No worries. Yeah. If you want to call me the bad guy, I'm the one that's done something wrong. Yeah, no worries. I just want a simple life. I need to crack on. So yeah, it just got too bad. It was becoming too frequent where she'd kick off. So I decided that I'd move over to a condo in Buriram. I've still got my son here, so I needed to be close so I could take care of him. There was no chance I was ever going to leave my son. So I just thought, right, I'll go to the condo. Hopefully, this will give her some time to reflect, and this will give her time to understand that she is in the wrong, that she does need to control her emotions more, and that I'm really not such a bad guy. I'm not a guy that sits here and drinks Leo all day or goes to the bar and gets drunk and comes home like crazy. I'm just not that type of guy. And there are a lot of guys like that live in Isan. But for me, I just work all day, Pete, 7 days a week. Normally I just sit and I just work. I'll sit in this bamboo hut and I'll work and I'll just keep myself busy. And in my free time, I'll deal with my son. So for me, like, I'm not some big bad foreign guy that's taking the mick or getting drunk or being abusive or doing anything bad. So yeah, I just thought it's time to get out, and hopefully it'll teach her a lesson and a bit of humility, and maybe she might try to fix the situation, which took quite a while. Took 4 months to finally sort things out.
And you moved back then?
Yeah, I moved back. I said I'll give it a bit of time. I'm not going to be here 100%. I'll give it maybe a month and see how we get on. It's not even been a month yet, Pete. So yeah, I just said I'll give it a month, see how we get on, and if we can work things out, then and all this drama can stop, and you can learn to manage your emotion. I can learn to not fight back with you, and let's see how we get on. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got a kid. I don't want another broken family here in Thailand or here anywhere. I just don't want that kind of life. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order to try and keep my family together, and for my son to have a mother and father that live together and are there for him. So I'm giving it a go. And so far, yeah, it's not been too bad. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will show.
Coming up in part 2, we're going to talk about the mistakes some foreigners make in Thailand when they fall in love.
I know a guy that lives in Buriram that's lost 3 houses to 3 different Thai women.
Oh my God. So hit that subscription button so you don't miss out on part 2 coming up here on Thairish Times.